And in San Angelo, there's this place, we call it Twin Buttes.
Yeah.
Little mountains that are flat on top, right?
Yeah.
And one of them you can drive to and has a couple picnic tables up there. And I had took like 5 drops.
Can you overdose? Can you really
You can permafry yourself. Where you're just stuck in a permanent acid trip. But I took 5 drops that night, and for some reason I thought I could fly. So I ran and jumped off the side of the hill and rolled all the way down that bitch. I had cactus in me in every single part of my body you could name. Did you
go to the hospital?
No.
Yeah.
These 2 girls picked cactus out of me for the rest of the fucking night.
They take your clothes off?
Yeah. It was a good time. Yeah. Sarah and Misty.
Sarah and Misty.
Yep.
Oh man. So like how would you sell would you just drop it on a sheet?
No. You drop it in your eye and drop it in your mouth.
Okay. Yo. How would you sell a drop?
Good.
I'm just take a drop out.
Okay.
And
got you.
If you were buying acid from me, you were taking it right then and there in front of me.
Got it.
Yeah, so I hope you're not going anywhere. Or like
was that your way to protect them? The people you were with?
I didn't care about protecting
anybody.
I didn't want to put it on sheets or carry anything around. Like a vial of acid, I could just drop on the ground and crush with my foot, you know, like that was the most convenient way.
Yeah.
So I go to a house party and just sell acid at a house party. And if people left the house party after I give them acid, that was on them.
Yeah.
I was not very kind. Looking back on it now.
I don't know. Have y'all? I don't know if this is just me. If y'all ever heard this story, and I think it's just people trying to like scare people from doing acid. I was always. It was like in probably junior high, and people would always talk about this story of like some kid taking acid, and he thought he was a potato chip, and he thought he crumbled and like he died. That's fucking. I mean, I always remember hearing that, and it kind of did freak me out. And I had never even tried psychedelics, but there was something about like just thinking about it too much. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude,
is there a big difference between mushrooms and acid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mushrooms are more of a natural body, like a natural feel, like they're a body high. Like acid is like a strong, like visual, mental. Mushrooms are more of a slow, chill. You're not like with acid. The boogeyman might come and get you. My experience with mushrooms was never like that.
I've had experience with mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah. Well, to me.
Now, what do you mean the boogeyman?
Like, okay, let me say this. Have you ever smoked weed? Well, you said, okay, we were just talking about it. You said you smoked weed before and then got you high.
Yeah, when I was like 15, 16,
I
don't think I've ever been high.
Man, that's great. Okay, so pretty much it's kind of.
I've only tried like, I can probably count the times on my hands and feet.
So when I first got into smoking weed, a lot of times I would get really like, I would get in my head and get like, I guess like anxiety and paranoia and stuff, right? And that even happens when I stop smoking weed and start smoking again, right?
So you just got to be constant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that for me, from my experience, having a bad trip on shrooms is like having that same experience on weed, but like times maybe times a lot, sometimes like times 50. And there's been times where I don't even know why I've had those experiences and to continue to do it like the next trip because I always end up in that time where I'm just in my room like in the dark, probably like under a blanket, waiting for it to end. And once it does end, that's like the best part for some. You're like waiting for it to for health. You're having like it's like a panic attack. This is a bad trip though. This is not everybody's experience. But this is my experience. And then once you beat that battle, once you fight all your demons, once you get out of that, there's like a whole euphoria that kind of kicks in.
What do you mean, like fight your battles, the boogeyman, whatever? Like
I don't think, because this is very common for people to say too. Like, don't take psychedelics if you're carrying a lot of baggage, or if you have like anxiety, or if you're not in the right headspace. I guess like if you're going to like through stress, or
you agree?
Yeah, whatever's going on with you is going to be amplified.
Got you.
So if you're filled with anxiety, You'll be a nervous wreck.
Or guilt. If you're guilty about something at the moment, it's gonna fucking You're gonna fucking feel that shit. Yeah.
I had one time I was beefing with some people and whatever. And I took a bunch of acid, and I thought the telephone poles were turning into hands that were trying to grab me.
Oh.
And I was running from them. And then I've always had anxiety, and I don't have it today. But when I was young, I had.
You don't have it like just today, or like just in general?
In general,
like,
today I don't have it like I did.
Okay.
But I used to have panic attacks, and I remember taking a bunch of acid, and I ate a couple of Mitsubishis.
The what? Mitsubishi?
Yeah, a couple of ecstasy pills.
Okay.
And I took a couple hits of acid, and I walked into a rave in California, and I was already filled with anxiety. And when I walked in the rave, it was so overwhelming. I had a panic attack, and I ran. I ran in flip-flops, body paint, and shorts, like 3-4 miles to my friend's house. And then I hid in the back with his dog until it wore off. So I was in the back by this doghouse, petting this pit bull, hiding because I was scared for like 12 hours. Like, so whatever, and all drugs are like this, in my opinion. So whatever you have inside, the drugs can mask it at times, and certain drugs mask things better. Like heroin will mask anything for a while.
Yeah.
What do you mean mask?
Numb it, or
numb
just
it,
make you
cover it up,
Got it.
Yeah.
like
change your mood completely.
make you forget about it. You know,
So if you're anxious, it's gonna.
yeah, like people get high, man, because you find freedom in things, like especially like weed, right?
Yeah.
You find freedom from your fears and your anxiety when you're stoned. You do. But once the stone goes away, whatever you were masking or hiding is amplified.
Yeah.
It is.
You're coming down.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I'm happy I got sober, because I've been living like a natural life for 15 years now, you know? And my first few years were bad. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Panic attacks, anxiety through the roof. I battled depression really bad a couple different times over the years.
Do you know what pause is? Post acute withdrawal syndrome, and it's supposed to last like 2 years.
2 years normally.
2.5 maybe, something.
Yeah. Well, what it is like when you get sober, especially off with the harder drugs like meth, it fucks up your brain structure and your literally your neuron connections and your endorphins. Like it fucks it all up. And your brain, it takes years, 2 years
to recover from that. Yeah. Especially meth. People could be like in like psychosis for like days, even months. That's what I heard.
After about 2 years, though, that's as healed as your brain's going to be. That's it.
Yeah.
This is as healed as you're going to get.
Yeah.
You don't get no more healed than this physically.
Did you throw up?
Oh,
Trying to come off?
coming off meth was a little different. Coming off heroin sucked. I kicked heroin in county jail.
Oh man, that sucks. No subs.
Do you think gel helped you?
I think going to jail helped me quite a bit in my life, to be honest. Like when I was 18, I was strung out. I was selling any substance I can get my hands on. My mother's house was hot. The cops were watching me. I had people that were angry at me. I owed money to everybody. And I was strung out on heroin. I was 18 years old. I was a child. And I got raided. And I did 4 months in county jail because I had a $150,000 bond and a California ID. No one was going to bond me out.
Damn.
That's just what it was.
Yeah.
And so when I got out 4 months later,
Twin Towers. Twin Towers, is that you said it in LA, California?
No, I was in Texas in a small town,
okay.
But I had California ID.
Okay.
So I was a flight risk. Nobody wanted to touch me with that bond. And by the time I left county jail, the last thing I wanted to do was downers. I had kicked heroin cold turkey in county jail, and it took about 12 days to get over the worst of it.
Did they help you at all with that?
No, man. I was pissing and shitting on myself and puking, and like it was bad. It was bad. Now, I don't think I was going to die, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so by the time I left county jail, I was healthy. I was mentally stable to some sort, or I didn't have any withdrawals, and so I was like, no, I'm good. Now I did meth that night, but I didn't want to do heroin ever again.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I went to prison, it wasn't the worst I was ever strung out, but when I went to prison, I was strung out pretty bad. I was. And
What does strung out mean? From the heroin or from the meth?
either one.
Okay.
You can be strung out from crack, cocaine. Like, man, I've seen people now that are strung out on dabs, on marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like so normal. It's like a it's like a new breed of zombies.
Yes. When I'm strung out, it means all I want to do is drugs, and all I'm doing is drugs. I'm not caring about other people's lives or safeties. The selfishness has taken a hold of me.
Yeah. All you're thinking about is
Yeah, and when I went to prison, I was in a really bad place. And by the time I came out of prison, I was mentally stable. I was physically fit. I was healthy. I was like, I'm never going to sell drugs again. So I became an alcoholic for a while.
And then
I don't think this is where we were supposed to go with this.
no, it doesn't matter. Like
we
don't even
really
have a format
or
or
so we
segments
can
or
talk about
anything.
whatever you want,
But
and we can edit too. So if you say something you want us to take out, we
I don't know.
take it
Have
out.
you?
You just let us know.
But I kind of wanted to tell you because you're questioning about like the like when it comes to like detoxing and the withdrawals and stuff.
Yeah.
So for different substances, there's different detoxes. Like if you're on meth, the only thing if you go and if you're recovering from meth and you go to a rehab, they're literally just gonna have you like eat and sleep and sit in bed like. Just that's no medication, no nothing. Maybe they might give you something to help you sleep, like Seroquel or something like that. But that's pretty much it. But for alcohol and like Xanax, which is like benzos, they have to tape. Let me say this: alcohol is like the most dangerous drug to quit cold turkey and to try to even quit on your own.
Really?
Yeah. If you're a real bad alcoholic, if you're like a really really bad alcoholic, quitting cold turkey
Can it kill you?
It could kill you. You have a cardiac arrest.
Yep.
You get like you can have a seizure, sweats, and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it goes. It's alcohol, benzodiazepines.
Benzos. Yep.
Now, the next worst one is tramadol.
Tramadol. Okay.
Not a lot of people get addicted to tramadol, but the few people that do have horrible withdrawals. Next are opiates. And then after opiates, K2 was really bad, but nobody really does that anymore.
Okay. What is that?
That was that legal substance that they were selling in the head shops for a while.
Oh,
a few years ago.
Okay.
And then with meth though, like when I came off meth last time, I slept for 2 weeks at my mom's house. I'd wake up, smoke a little weed, drink some alcohol, eat some food, go back to bed. I slept like 16 hours a day for 2 weeks. Then I got dropped off at rehab.
Do you know? Have you ever tried? This is like an old school drug that I have never tried. Quaaludes. Apparently, they used to fuck people up.
I've never got them.
No, I've heard a lot about.
I've never seen them.
them. But they don't. I don't think they exist anymore. Yeah.
No, they stopped making those a long time ago.
Yeah.
I take a lot of caffeine.
Yes,
Caffeine.
You know, Diet Dr. Pepper, like when I try to quit caffeine for a little bit, I do go through withdrawals. I throw up.
Same.
I will be like sick.
Yeah.
Like headaches, just like body aches.
I need at least 150 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Oh yeah, definitely 150.
Yeah, it's not
Maybe 300. You know, I'm counting it out, cutting it up, you know.
Yeah. At least
Any way I can get it.
at least 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah. I'm a monster guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a white monster and 2 shots of espresso before noon today.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So that was a good day.
Do you have ADHD?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was told by my therapist that I have ADHD. She went through a list of things and she was like, "You probably are using Diet Dr. Pepper to self-medicate."
Yeah, whatever.
Diet Dr.
You know.
Pepper is good, man. I think we talked about that already.
Yeah, this is good.
I got a 12 packet at home.
Yeah.
There's probably 2 left.
Yeah, you know, and I drink it like, you know, my wife will get me a 12 pack and it's gone like in a day, 2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, this body didn't come naturally.
You know, she'll be like, "Is that your last one?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I know I'm not comparing caffeine to
No.
meth or whatever. That's just, I guess I'm sharing that because that's the extent of my experience when
Yeah.
it comes to,
I don't know. I grew up in the mix.
yeah.
I used drugs for the first time at a really young age. It's one of the reasons I got sober. The way I present myself today is nothing like people at work have no clue for the most part.
Which is good.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my wife is a great example of the fact that I'm not a drug addict anymore. You know, my wife is a very well put together religious woman who works for the police department,
Yeah.
and I don't present myself as those things I was in the past.
You're a normie now.
Yeah.
I think you're a good example.
Well, not like a normie in a sense, like you kind of just like a normal functioning,
Yeah.
regular life.
At this point, I'm a regular dude.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like people who say people can't change is like bullshit?
There's a lot of people in recovery that I've seen do
Yeah,
good.
like, I know it's
But
hard,
then a lot of people fucking,
but you're,
I think some people are incapable of it
yeah.
because they'll never get out of their own way.
Yeah. See that.
Change is possible, and psychology like dictates that you can do it through action and through thought, right? But you have to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to want to change. I think anybody's capable of it, but it takes a lot of honesty.
Right, how did you find that?
At first I didn't want to do meth anymore. That was the first thing.
Why? Like, what made you think I don't want to do this?
The last 6 months before I got sober, I had a girl in California that I was with that was pregnant. The kid turned out not to be mine. I honestly, I could see my own potential. And I would have these brief moments of like clarity or sanity where I was sober, like I just woke up, and my own actions were appalling to me. And my mental health was declining at a really fast pace. And I knew the lifestyle that I lived was going to wind me up with another prison sentence or death.
jails, institutions, or death. That's what
Yeah.
they say in the program, in recovery, I don't know, NA and AA, they say the same thing. Yeah.
And I honestly tried to quit on my own. I tried and tried and tried, and I couldn't. I could not. And so when I got dropped off at rehab, I didn't want to do meth. I didn't want to quit drinking. I didn't know I was going to quit smoking weed. I just didn't want to do meth. And at that point, I was willing to do whatever they asked of me. So at first, the changes were subtle. Whatever you guys ask me, I'm going to do. And I did things like wash ashtrays, mop floors. I used to stand by the door and shake every man's hand that came in the door and greet every single person. I started following this old cowboy around who was my sponsor, and he was a really good man, and I wanted to be a good man. So I just started doing the actions that he did, and I repeatedly doing those actions. I started changing on my own.
The actions.
Being helpful, talking to people, caring for others.
Being of service. That's what they call it, being of service, right?
Yeah,
being of service, which is like, helping the newcomers if they need any help.
Yeah.
When you're in rehab.
Yeah, just being active
Yep.
inside the community, you know? And then I prayed, I meditated, and then I looked into myself and got honest, like, here are the things I did, here are the ways I behaved, here are the things that I thought was unacceptable,
Yeah.
and I developed a faith. I took everything that was tangible that I could do and started doing it. And then I just believed if I did these things, I would be better. And I wanted to be better. So I looked at my peers that had the things that I wanted. And I looked at the things that they did to get those. And so I started acting, I started doing their actions. I started behaving, and whether I wanted to or not, and there's times I didn't want to, but I started acting like the men I wanted to be. I know I didn't think that way. My thoughts were a mess, you know?
Yeah.
But I just started doing whatever. Like, if that guy had a pretty wife, was well liked, he had a strong belief in God, like he had a good job, everybody liked him, I was like, okay, what is he doing to being like that? How did he become that? Yeah. So when I seen him shaking everybody's hand, I started shaking everybody's hand. When I seen him actively trying to care for other people, I started trying to be open and caring for other people.
Got it.
You know, and by doing those actions and just repeating them, while doing self-searching and therapy, I started to develop a new person. I did.
So you were open-minded going into the rehab, because there's a lot of people who are going into treatment because of legal issues, family issues, or they're just like homeless. They have nowhere else to go. But it's so different when you go into there with an open mind. Like you said, you start trying to be of service. You start, you see the people that already have clean time, what they're doing. So like you said, you kind of do what they do.
I was open to anything too, like church, God, whatever would make me better. I was willing to try. And I became honest. I did my first, probably the second intimate relationship I ever had in my life. And I'm not talking with like a woman. I'm talking just a deep connection with another person. Because me and my dad were real close. But that old cowboy was the first. Like real time, the first time in my life I sat down and I was honest with somebody. I told him how I actually felt. I told him the things I'd actually done. Mm-hmm. I developed an understanding with another man, and I learned that I could put trust and faith in somebody. And that was really important.
Yeah. I think what's one thing that when I was in the program, in recovery, one thing that I thought was like actually badass and even like punk rock in a sense, where they're like, we don't you with the sense of the higher power, how because going into like the going into AA, NA, rehab, whatever, they're always going to push this for you to believe in some kind of higher power, but it's literally like, I don't want to say it's whatever you want, but it's kind of like it's whatever you believe that helps you. You know what I mean? Because if NA or if like rehab or NAA were to try to like push a certain religion or something, that would just defeat the whole purpose of trying to help everybody.
Oh, I prayed to a giant flying spaghetti monster. I did.
Yeah, but some people they'll say like, okay, because some people have a hard time believing in God. They'll be like, okay, well, like just like just the AA and NA itself kind of is my higher power. I'm not saying that it's God, but that's kind of like your.
Yeah, I work with guys right now, and I tell them, look, I don't care what you pick. I just need you to have faith that you can be better.
Yeah.
I just need you to have some faith that you can heal. And I need you to step out on that faith and get better. I don't give a fuck what you believe in.
Are you mentoring people right now? Yeah. That's really cool. Sponsoring?
Yeah. I've mentored, I don't know, probably 1,000 men in the past 15 years.
Respect, man.
Yeah.
How do you connect with them? Like, do you go through
it depends.
The same?
I don't connect with all of them.
Okay.
A lot of them you're just not there for the right reasons. And it's not me to judge or question that. The idea is just to be helpful, be trustful, and care.
Okay. Like, are you on a list though of like people can reach out to you? How do they?
My phone number.
How do people find you?
My phone number's all over the place.
Okay.
And plenty of people have it.
You're pretty open.
Yeah, and I answer every phone call. I don't not answer my phone. I got a call from a guy the other day who is a therapist somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, I got this guy. I think you're a good fit. Will you come meet him?" I was like, "Yeah, I can be there Sunday." I am not near as active as I used to be. I used to be extremely active, but now my life's a lot different today. and my priorities are different. So I don't mentor 10 guys at a time or any of that. I have one or two.
Yeah.
And I'm not as good as I used to be either. Like, I used to be really involved and hardcore and over the top. And now I'm just like, meh. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to do it, I'll see you when you come around.
That's what I was thinking too, because like kind of the same deal. Like if you're looking for a sponsor, it's kind of the same deal. If you're not as open-minded and willing to, go for what your goal is, then there's really no. But you're wasting.
Yeah, I'll find out real quick.
Yeah,
but you're never wasting my time.
No, okay, yeah, that's good. I like to hear this. See, that's the right thing. That's the right thing to say, because you might be. The sponsee might be wasting their own time. That's what
wasting my time. Mm-hmm. As long as I get a chance to try, like, I'm doing better for me.
Yeah.
Well, I never wasted my time. I'm not as active in the groups as I used to be, though. I like my life now, though. Like he was talking about, I'm a regular dude at this point. I don't.
You've settled down.
Yeah, I have I have coping skills.
Yeah.
I have healthy coping mechanisms. I have a great home life. I have awesome family. Like, I have good friends. Like, I literally called one of my friends tonight and I was like, hey, bro, here's my Facebook password. If I ever die, keep me alive through trolls. And my buddy was like, hell yeah, man, I'm going to reset mine tonight and I'm going to send it to you. And I know without a doubt, this guy's never going to hack my Facebook. He don't care. But if I ever die,
you were talking about that today, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to wait. He's going to wait a few weeks till after I die. Then he's going to go in my Facebook and start posting.
That's funny.
Yeah, like, I'm going to troll people from the grave. That is my goal. But, like, this is my buddy. I needed help hanging Christmas tree lights because I didn't have a ladder that was tall enough.
Yeah.
He was at the house with the wife, and we had dinner, and we hung Christmas lights on the house, and we had a good time, and it was just another day,
Yeah.
Like, there's this young couple at work that I really like, and the things that they have going on are things that my wife does. So I invited them over. We had donuts and coffee in the morning. She's going to dog sit for us. My wife really likes them. I think we're going to start hanging out with this couple.
Do you work in recovery?
Huh?
Do you work in recovery?
I worked in recovery for 10 years.
Okay.
I worked for 2 sober livings and a rehab.
Okay.
And then I was on the board of several nonprofits.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, this is kind of already like a heavy recovery episode. So I was going to say, because you talked about coping mechanisms earlier.
Yeah.
So is the whole 12 steps things, and then they have like there's a 12 steps, and then they have like other things too that are kind of just like, they're kind of just coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you like, is that kind of like a daily thing for you to kind of reflect? Okay. Because what do they also have, like there's like the daily reflection or just like those daily things?
The deal is I worked the AA 12 steps for so long and so consistently that they're a working part of my mind at this point.
Yeah.
So like in the 10th step, it talks about when you're dishonest, when you're fearful, when you're resentful, when you're selfish. I'm at a point now that I know when I'm being dishonest.
Yeah.
I know when I have fear. I know when I'm being selfish. Selfish is still a problem with me, especially in my personal relationships. And when those things crop up, when they hinder me from the sunlight of the spirit, I'll start quoting recovery. I pause.
Okay. And
then I ask myself, like, okay, am I being selfish? If it's a yes, why? Did I harm anyone? Do I know an amends? Do I need to talk to somebody about it? Do I need to pray? And how can I help somebody else and be selfless to rid myself of this?
Yep. So Hailey, like this was kind of what I'm getting to. This is what I tripped out on when I was involved in AA and all the steps and stuff. I thought aside from like me trying to like beat whatever battles I was going on, and people would even talk about this, like the 12 steps and the AA program, that could just help like anybody. Yeah. Even if you don't, even with any like, because a lot of it doesn't even, there's a lot of steps that don't even reference like drug use. They're just kind of just like not resenting people, like kind of forgiveness or just what do they call it, like but like opening up to your sponsor and telling, stuff like that. It's
The ninth step is the last time.
Well, it sounds very similar. I was just reading this book. I can't remember what it's called. It's like it's about life schemas.
Yeah.
About how to change your schemas, and it sounds like
Well,
these recovering things just give you a way to change.
the program was actually based on a bunch of Christian principles, and some of the books that our literature was based off of are like Sermon on the Mount,
Yeah,
books like that. So there's a lot of principles in the AA program that are in many religions.
yeah,
Because they pulled real heavy from Christianity. And if you read the AA book in detail and you're like pretty educated on the Bible, you can see Bill Wilson paraphrasing the New Testament.
oh shit.
Yeah, he paraphrases it quite a bit in there. Yeah,
Sermon on the Mount's beautiful.
yeah.
There's a lot of really good stuff there.
Yeah, there is. I have a copy of it. I've read that a few times. There's another book written by Doctor. I can't remember his name, but I have it at the house. It's a great book. It's this old black doctor, and the way he writes too. He writes like he speaks. I love reading. Oh man, I wish I could remember his name. But
Do you read a lot?
not as much anymore.
Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning?
Yeah.
Viktor Frankl?
Yes, I did.
It's a
I used to read a lot. In the past like 6-7 years, I read short stories on Reddit. I read college, whatever I'm learning in college.
Yeah. Now, are you done? Are you graduated with college? Or
No, I took a semester off and it's turned into 3.
Yeah. But you were going strong there for a little bit. How
Yeah.
much time do you have left?
I have 28 hours left.
28 hours.
That's it. I'm a senior in tech.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go back to school sometimes, dude. Because I've been at my job 9 months. I'm already hovering around a promotion. I'm already like, if I just get the first promotion, I'll be financially comfortable. And if I get the first promotion, I'll get the second promotion. I've excelled at everything I've ever done in life.
Yeah.
I just have to do it. You know?
Would you ever want to go on for a master's?
No.
No.
Let my siblings have their master's degrees. I don't need one. It's too much work, man. I don't see the financial reward in me getting a master's, to be honest.
I think maybe you've already gotten what you needed out of your education.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like when I got my master's, it was less like, let's get an A, let's get the master's degree, and let's see what I can pull out of this for my business. So it was a lot less academic and more practical.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of classes where I was just kind of checked out because it's like there's zero application. Or I could always find something, but some classes are more than others.
And there were some classes that I enjoyed in business school,
Yeah.
but
Just time.
I don't want to do the work. I'd rather pour myself into my job and my wife.
Yeah.
Because I'm 41 at this point. I just need to make enough income to pay for some kids, vacation, and a mortgage. That's it. And as long as I can do that, I'll have between me and her, we should be able, she'll retire way before me,
Yeah.
but I should be able to retire someday. Now, my retirement will be later than her. Like my wife will probably retire at 55 and I'll probably retire at 75. But you know what? Mm-hmm. I just want to be comfortable. And it doesn't take a lot to be comfortable. Because like when I was young, I wanted money. And until recently, I wanted money. And a good friend of mine who's a doctor, who has a doctor, and he's like, man, I done chasing money. I've made plenty of money. He's like, now I'm chasing opportunity. And at this point, man, I'm chasing a good life. I want to be happy. I want to do cool stuff. That's what I want to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
The money will come. And sometimes, like, I forget, like right now, I was complaining to a friend because it's slow season. And I'm selling, but it's slow season. So the bonuses for the team aren't very good right now.
Yeah.
If everybody performed like I did, our bonuses would be great. But there's just not enough opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. So my checks have sucked. And I was complaining to a friend about how much I thought my checks had sucked. And they were like, that's more than I make, right? I was like, oh.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
I was like, oh. I was like, well, how do you live?
Yeah.
Because I can't live like this.
You just throw salt in the wound. It's like, well, how do you live?
I was like, how do you live?
What they say to that?
They're like, I don't pay rent. I was like, oh.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
a mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a mortgage. You know?
So technically, yeah, they are probably making more than you.
Yeah. Like I want a fancy car. I don't need a fancy car. I need to just get the car in the driveway running because it's cool.
Yeah.
Me and the wife are going on vacation in March. About to take a whole week off for Christmas. Like,
That's cool.
I'm excited about our vacation in March, bro.
Where are you going?
We're going to Salt Lake City.
Why Salt Lake City?
Well, we're going to see Shane Gillis.
Nice.
Okay.
We fly in Salt Lake City. The next day we see Shane Gillis. Then we're going to rent a 4-wheel drive. And then we're hitting the 5 parks on the way to Vegas.
Oh, that's great. Like
You're hitting the
Moab and
Yep.
Lions.
We're doing
Beautiful.
Yeah. We're going to do
Beautiful.
Moab. We're going to do Arches. We're going to do Canyon. We're going to do all of them.
Now, you're going to be in Salt Lake. Are you going to go up to Park City at all? Like,
Maybe. We don't know.
might not have enough time.
The plan is we're going to fly in the 14th, eat some bougie food, get some rest.
Well, I grew up there, so if you want some ideas, you
Yeah.
got to eat the Red Iguana.
Okay.
Okay, it's like the Mexican place.
The red iguana. That's what it's
The Red
called.
Iguana. My favorite was La Frontera, but some people hate on that,
Well, we want to see the Salt Lakes, of course.
Yeah, and you got to go to Temple Square,
Yeah.
Mormon home base. But that's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff
Yeah.
to see there.
I wish I could hear. I wish I could see their choir.
Oh, you might be able to. You just got to go on and see if they're performing
Yeah.
at any time.
And then, but the main thing, she bribed me with Shane Gillis.
Yeah, she got me there.
She got me there.
Is she a fan of comedy?
No.
No, but she knew how to get you.
Yeah, see, Shane Gillis wasn't touring last year. And he started touring now.
Okay.
And so he was only doing shows in Pennsylvania at local comedy clubs. And
He hit Albuquerque just recently,
Yeah,
last year
yeah,
or whatever, because Morgan went to that.
yeah,
I
and
think.
I missed that. But
Yeah.
he was, when I decided I wanted to see him,
Yeah.
he was only doing shows at the comedy clubs in PA because he was hanging out there. Or you might catch him randomly at the mothership, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was seriously considering flying to Pennsylvania and seeing him at a comedy club trying to work a set
Yeah.
and do practice jokes, And then my wife hit me with, Shane Gillis is going to be in Salt Lake City in March. I was like,
If you can get a chance, you should go to the Dry Bar down in Provo.
okay.
The Dry Bars, I don't know if you've seen it online, but it's a pretty popular spot for comics
Yeah.
to get like online. It's clean comedy.
Okay.
Okay. But if like a lot of comics will get a spot on there and it's kind of like their break. So if they're doing a show down there, that's a really good spot to
Try to get on.
try to either get on or see what they're doing and what it's about.
because I could do clean comedy at this point.
Yeah, you got some really good stuff.
Did you guys both do that Christmas show, or did you do it too? Or
No.
that was just okay, but that was a clean
Yeah,
thing, right?
that was shown up
Okay.
and
How was that? Was it fun?
Chris.
Where was this at again? And what was the
It was for a church group.
church group? Okay.
Up in Idalou.
Okay.
So it was just a Christmas party, and it was
Yeah.
pretty chill.
Yeah.
So we were kind of surprised because I didn't know. I was told like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I get there, and Shonaf was really worried because it was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes clean. And she was like, "Y'all better close." And I was like, "No, we're not going to close for Shonaf." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "You're the closer." She's like, "I don't know if I have that much clean." So I eked out, I wasn't prepared for full 20 minutes. So, I just did a little bit of crowd work and gave the pastor a hard time.
Yeah.
Tried to.
Yeah.
So, what does clean mean to you guys? Because let me try to get my take on it. I'm assuming it's like clean, meaning like, of course, you're not gonna say any slurs. Maybe avoid so much not cussing, like saying really bad curse words. But hold on, but it's in a sense you're kind of just it's stuff. I'm guessing it could get like a little bit like hint at like sexual stuff, but you don't want to talk about like just really grimy or stuff
I
like
can
that.
tell
Right?
you the same joke two ways.
Okay, I got you.
When I met my girl, she owned a home, and it's a nice home. And I thought I'm going to be helpful. She had broken stuff, so I started fixing broken stuff around the house. Next thing you know, man, I think she realized that I'd fix anything around the house for a blowjob. Before long, man, next thing you know, like I fix the toilet, get a blowjob.
Yeah.
I fix the trim, paint a wall, get a blowjob. And damn inflation used to be like 5 hours of labor give me a blowjob. Now we're restoring antique furniture and laying wood floors, and 25 hours of labor is getting me the hope of a blowjob. Right?
And
The hope of a blowjob is powerful, though.
Yes.
You know, that'll carry you through hard times.
Same joke, but clean.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is the
yeah.
okay.
There's the same version.
Same exact joke.
Okay.
Right? Hey, I don't even think my wife is in it for the marriage. Once she realized I was handy and she owned her own home, she just started coming up with Joanna Gain projects all over the place. I showed up and fixed the toilet and repainted some trim. Next thing you know, we're restoring antique furniture. I don't know, with the price of labor currently, I don't even know if she loves me. I think she's just in this marriage for the labor.
Yeah.
So are you okay? Because let me.
Same joke, bro.
But so you're saying
I guess it just kind of depends on the lines that you draw.
So the clean one, are you implying that the blowjob, or is it just that's not even the case anymore?
blowjob's not.
Okay.
I'm applying that I'm in the marriage for love.
Yeah.
And she's in the marriage for a handyman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with the price of labor and the border crisis currently, it's cheaper for her to marry me
Yeah.
than call someone to come fix it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was kind of like, because I think shouldn't there be a clean way of still telling the joke, but just without saying blowjob? But you would have to get rid
Sure,
of it.
but you got to be careful because you don't know what the audience. If the audience is not wanting an innuendo to blowjob,
Yeah.
then you
Okay,
can't
I
you
get you.
can't
Yeah.
deliver that.
That
Like in a
makes
church
sense.
At
group,
a church group, that's
you don't
no.
want anybody thinking you're referencing blowjob.
So I did a show at a winery in
Yeah.
Canyon a few weeks ago. And I did it with What the Hector. Shout out to What the Hector. Hilarious comedian.
Okay. His name is what the heck?
Yeah, it's Hector Garcia, but it
Okay.
goes by What the Hector.
Okay.
I told the joke there, my butthole joke, which is hilarious.
Yes.
And where I talk about a girl eating my butthole, Well, in that setting, I tell the joke. I was like, I wasn't single for 10 years. You women are out of control. You are. I was like, I can't believe the stuff you asked me to do. Ma'am, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not going to do that. Let me put my leg over your shoulder. I'm implying that the girl's going to eat my ass.
Yeah.
Never said eat my ass.
There you go. See, yeah, and then okay.
Yeah.
So it depends. So it could be okay. So
There's ratings, bro.
It really
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be about the audience.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, it
So-
clean is very kind of broad.
Yeah.
It's very broad.
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It's not just one thing. It's not
Because
just
there's PG-13, there's
Yeah.
PG, and there's G, and you kind of tailor to, and you kind of know where and I like clean comedy because I like knowing there's a line. Because when it's like you can just do whatever, it's like you really gotta go like out there and or like shock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about shock, but like
Right.
when you know there's a line and you can kind of push right up to the line. I like
Yeah.
the kind of comedy that comes from that because it gives you a boundary to work against.
Yeah.
yeah. And you're also having. I'm okay. Like I don't want to say this like I know what I'm talking about, but I could imagine that you're also having to work harder and dig for to actually
Yeah.
make people laugh, because anybody can go up there and say fuck shit and all this
Yeah.
stuff, and people it's fun, like talk about farts and jerking off, all that hack stuff.
Yeah.
But for someone to really you got to really get creative if you're gonna
Yeah.
do something without being hacky, I guess. Yeah.
Writing clean is a talent. And it's something
Yeah.
I've been working hard to go toward, because I can do PG-13 all day now. No problem. I can pull the cussing. I can pull a lot of the innuendos. And there's a lot of stuff that I've done that I didn't realize could be clean until I had to be. My stuff on my girl, my stuff on marriage, some of my stuff on sobriety, like a lot of that stuff's really good, clean material
Yeah.
that I didn't realize I had until I had to be clean.
What was your what was the first time you ever went on stage?
My first open mic.
Yeah.
So 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago or so, I seen an advertisement for an open mic at the back room where Left Hub City used to do it.
Is that
Yeah.
Jake's?
No,
That group? Oh.
it's in the depot. It's something else now.
Okay.
But I went there and I did 2 open mics. Went there twice with my ex-wife. And I just told some dick jokes that I've been telling my friends forever. And it was fun. But at that time, my life was very busy. And I never did it again. And then 3 years ago, roughly 3 years ago, my first feature, in fact, was 3 years ago yesterday
Okay.
at
Nice.
RPM.
Okay.
3 years
Is that
ago.
when Chrissy was doing it? From what I heard, she was the host before Morgan was.
No, Val was.
Val was- okay.
And then Corey was before that.
Okay. Okay.
Corey's great. He kind of retired from comedy. But I'd made friends with Caleb Davis and Corey Evans. I made friends with them when I did those 2 open mics way back in the day. And so I followed them on Facebook, and I was sitting at home. I just started going back to school, just moved back to Lubbock. And I seen an advertisement for an open mic at RPM. And I just went up there, and I had written my first 5 minutes before I even went. I was like, okay, there's an open mic Thursday. It's in 2 days. I'm going to write 5 minutes worth of material. And I went to my first one at RPM, and I slayed, dude.
Okay. And then this was after your very first time, because you said your
Yeah.
very first time, and then you stopped.
I didn't do it again for
Okay.
3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And then this is more like my first time was 3 years ago. I went up there. I had written material that I had rehearsed at home, ready to go for my first open mic. And I did the same skinny dick, fat dick joke that I still do today. I did it. I told it way better back then. I did. And man, it was a blast. I was funny. The room was packed. Like, it was it was a feeling of euphoria.
Nice. And you were sober too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
And
yeah.
after that, I was hooked. A month later, I did I was put on my first show. I did 7 minutes. I was put on my first show within a month
Nice.
of doing open mic.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not everybody does that at all.
Yeah, shout out to JJ Hall for dropping out of that show. Because Chrissy had said, Curtis has 7 minutes. So I opened for an FMX show. And I slayed that 7 minutes. I told every single joke I had.
Yeah.
I only had 7 minutes. And then about 3 months after that, I did my first feature at RPM, and I did 25 minutes that time.
Oh shit!
Man, I watched it. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
I watched it.
Yeah, I've gone to your YouTube page and watched your stuff.
I watched it the other day. That first feature I did was good. And some of the way I told some of those jokes back then, I need to practice telling them like that now.
Yeah.
There was a few of them that I was like, wow, that's how that joke was written? Mm-hmm. Why did I stop telling it like that? Like, that was a good joke. Why did I stop using that? Like, you know?
How long have you guys known each other, you and Hailey?
I started comedy 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah.
I've been kind of on and off, you know, like I started, I think I did it for like 5 months, and then I was out for 5 months, and then I came back.
Yeah.
So I've been a little spotty in performing and writing.
So you guys met each other through comedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Open mics.
Yep.
Nice. That's what's up. And that's how the only people I know is through doing open mics, because I just go to work, and when I go to work, I'm just sitting in the guard shack all day. I don't even talk to people. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I go to mics, because I would be.
You'd have no.
I almost joined the Air Force last year because like I didn't know what I was freaking doing. I didn't have a car. I didn't know what I was doing with my life.
Air Force is a good career path.
Dude, and I'm surprised that I even qualified, because at first it was kind of just I kind of wanted to see just if like, not as a joke, but I kind of just wanted to see myself like what, because they wanted to know my medical history.
Think you were surprised?
Well, because they wanted to know. Well, I lied about a lot of stuff. I told them that I have never done drugs in my life. I told her I never smoked weed. And any medical issues, no. I told them I was perfect, nothing at all. I was born with. I had asthma as a kid, and I've had like anxiety, and I have like mental health issues. Not like nothing crazy, but like it's definitely there if somebody goes looking.
Yeah.
And I lied about everything, dude. And then when I went, they send you up to, it's called a MEPS. And the MEPS around here is in Amarillo, and that's the military entrance program, something. And when you go there, they have you do like the medical stuff, and then they actually look up your medical history. And so good thing I lied about a bunch of stuff, because one thing only came up, and that was it. And they were like, oh, we just need you to get like a waiver for like this anxiety that popped up. You know what I mean? So I just had to like see a doctor, get a waiver, and then it took months later for them to approve it. But I get a text months later, because I was waiting too. Like literally, it took a while for them to approve it. So I remember it was like at the beginning of the year, I think this year, January.
Yeah.
And then it was like almost like a 6-month process until I got an answer. And after those 6 months were over, like I had a car, I was like active with the mics, and I had a better job.
You had a life.
And so when they told me like, hey man, like we're ready to go, like we'll ship you out in the next couple months to go to basic training if you want to go. I did say yeah, and I did go to MEPS, and literally they did set up a date for me to ship, but I didn't sign nothing because I didn't get the job that I wanted to get. But I'm insane for even wanting to try to do this, because I wouldn't even trust myself. I was going for trying to do air traffic control, and I was like, hell no. Like now that I think of it, like nah, I've smoked way too much weed in my life, dude.
There's a lot of other things you can do though.
Yeah, well, I want to like buckle down, like, you know, settle here and just kind of try to do like comedy and music projects maybe, and because cost of living is cheap here, really cheap. And
Dude, Lubbock's not a bad place, bro.
Lubbock's really not a bad. I keep trying to convince my wife.
Yeah.
We just need to stay.
I've been here 15 years.
Yeah.
I've bought 3 houses. I've had
Do you
several
still have
good
the
jobs.
houses?
No. Well, we live in one now, but she owns it.
What's that?
55 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Coming up.
Yeah, like, dude, I got a whole bunch of great friends in Lubbock. I built a strong network of people. If I need something, I can make a phone call. Mm-hmm. Like, I've always done well here. Like I love my girl to death. I do. But if she threw me out tomorrow, I'll make a phone call and get an apartment.
Yeah.
I make enough money to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be a little bit broke, but I'll be all right. Like, comedy's been really good to me in Lubbock. I'm one of the go-to people when it comes to comedy. If you need a strong opener or 10 minutes or something, I mean, at this point, like even outside promoters know if they need somebody.
Yeah.
That,
Who books the shows at the like the big shows here, like at Buddy Holly and stuff like that?
man, so the last time I got booked at Buddy Holly, I got booked by the promoter that runs Renee's Vodka's group.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And
And that's who you opened up for?
yeah, I opened up for Renee Vodka.
Okay.
Now, they have in-house people, but usually promoters reach out to them when they're booking the tours.
Okay.
Now, one of the things I do is I got a one sheet, and I send my one sheet to every single promoter for every single comedian that comes here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so-
oh, yeah, that's cool. Shit.
I have a one sheet. It's all set up. It's got links, the whole 9 yards. I got a 5-minute clean set recorded. I got 15-minute dirty set recorded. Whatever you need, I can do. I can do 40 minutes dirty. I can do 25 minutes clean. I can do 10 minutes of crazy.
Yeah.
So whatever you need, I can host. The only thing I'm not willing to do is close a big show.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Dude, so it's compared because when I started doing comedy, that's when I was living in Southern California.
Yeah.
And then compared to here, it's like night and day. Like I could find a mic like every single day of the week, probably 2 mics every single day of the way out there, and then I could just do the same fucking 5 minutes, probably like, and just keep working on that. Compared to here, like you kind of, you're a little bit pressured. If you want to go up every single week, every mic, you're a little bit pressured to try stuff new, other than being repetitive. My bad. Other than being repetitive, because we're almost doing it in front of the same people every week. But
You're performing for comics.
yeah,
a lot of
and then
times.
the comedy aside, it's also night and day when it comes just to like just the environment and the culture and everything. Because like, I don't want to like, what I'm saying is like here, but I actually feel like when I go to the store, grocery store, liquor store, whatever, and I just talk to a stranger, I feel like I'm actually talking to a real person. Based in like in the LA era, everyone's kind of like to themselves and a little bit, snobby. And I'm not. I mean, I'm. That's the way I was, grew up too. But it's like it's so different here. It's so cool, and like people are I guess I want to say. People are stick to their word. Like whenever like if I've invited people to something, like the way me and my homies are, back in California, like a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I got you, I'll be there. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the invite. But here, people are like, they stick to their word. They're like, fuck yeah, I'll be there.
I'll never live in Cali again.
But I think this is some good stuff right here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wrap it up, but what you got going on right now?
January 11th, I'm opening for Omar Gooding, Adrian Gunn Productions, here in Lubbock, Texas. You can find the show on Eventbrite. February 1st, I'm at the Limelight Theater in Plainview. With this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
Here we're doing a clean show.
Nice.
March, there's a roast coming up. I'm not sure the location yet. It's probably going to be in El Paso. So we got that going on. I got a comedy contest in June or July.
Nice.
So
cool.
Is that the West Texas one?
One of them. Yeah. I was supposed to be on this February one, but I had a show booked already.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be on the next one. But I'm excited. I'm hoping that I get to be a part of the roast coming up in El Paso. Because roasting is one of my
specialties.
I love roasting, dude. Roasting. Also, Toon Balloons relaunching their app. So we do comedy live, and we can do comedy live in your house virtually. We can tailor roast. You can find that at Toon Balloon.
Oh man, so you're involved in the game, man. You're not messing around.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. And then because this episode was really like, we were just actually kind of deep into recovery or whatever. But I will vouch for Curtis. He's a very funny guy. Yeah. Because we were just kind of this was good. But yeah, anything else?
No. If you get a chance to see Curtis,
thank you, Curtis.
Check him out.
Welcome, man.
Find him up on YouTube.
Curtis Hinds Comedy on Instagram.
Yeah, dude, we don't even have like a name or anything for this yet. But anything?
Yeah.